Hello Internet, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a carburetor rebuild kit on my 2000 DR200SE. What you're going to need is a carburetor rebuild kit, nothing fancy. I picked this up for about $50, a little under. Phillips, flathead. I've got a bunch of extra small screwdrivers just in case. We've got our carburetor already pulled out of our bike. Pretty simple, just loosen the hose clamps on either side on the boots, take the throttle cable off, and it comes right out. So then you're going to need some brake parts cleaner or some carb cleaner. Either one works, just whatever you got laying around. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is take off the float bowl here. There's 4 screws. Go ahead and take those off first. These can be really difficult to get off. They like to strip out really easily, so make sure you do it right the first time, because if you strip these things out, it's not a fun task to get these out. Okay, once you've got that float bowl off, you can see that gasket's probably bad. So take that. The inside of the float bowl doesn't look too bad, not too bent up. Let's see. You want to pull this out here. This pin can be difficult to get out, so the back of our float bowl mechanism looks like it's bent up. It's kind of messed up. Don't know what that's about. Something to fix maybe? Okay, so you tapped it. This comes out like that. Don't lose any of this stuff. Then your float bowl comes right out. Okay. Oh, stupid kitty. What do you want? What do you want, kitty? Once you've got your float assembly taken out, right inside here, you've got your main jet here. Your pilot jet's in here. And right here you have your float needle. That's what prevents fuel from going in and out. So remove this screw right here just inside. This is a filter. You take that out. Put a new one in there as well. So see if we can't get that screw out now. Okay, once we've got that, put that down. This should come out. A little wiggle maybe. Just give it a little wiggle. Oh, there should be a filter on the bottom of this, but it's stuck in here. Let's see if we can fish that out real quickly. That was the filter that was stuck in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that went right on the top of this, just like that. Now we'll take the main jet out. And there is a washer underneath the main jet. Okay, way deep down inside in there we got a pilot jet, so we'll take that out as well. And that's your pilot jet. There. Blow these out. Make sure they're clear. Something weird I noticed was usually this right here is where your air to fuel ratio screw is, and you can adjust it right there, but I'm not sure if this comes out or not. So we're going to replace everything else and then look into this, but for now let's replace everything else down here, and then we'll break into the top up here and do all that. This is when your brake cleaner is going to come into effect. Remember, don't get brake cleaner or carb cleaner on any gaskets. It'll ruin them. So try to avoid that at any cost. So we're just going to spray all this out and make sure that it's all clean before we put all the new parts back in it. Once you have that complete, go ahead and start putting it back together. Oh, old one doesn't say what size it is. This one says 125. It's the new one. So main jet going in. Got the washer in there. Don't need to crank it down too much. Pretty sure this is these are brass fittings. Brass is very malleable metal, so we don't want to crank too hard down on her. All right, let's see. Now we got this funky thing with the new needle already in it. So we're gonna go ahead and pull that out and put that right back in the hole where we found it. Make sure it seats nice and good. First off, double check, make sure it is the same. Looks the same. Looks good to me. Once that's pressed in there, seated nicely, you'll kind of feel it pop in place. After that gets put in, you can put the hardware that held it back into it. It's right here. Right, that's in. Float bowl assembly back in. Remember to put your pin back through the same side it came in originally. Okay, as you can see, it is seated all the way in there, sticking out on this side here. Float bowl is working properly. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and take this pilot jet here. Throw it in there. Okay, once you think you got it nice and tight, give it a little snug, nothing too much. You don't want to really crank down on it and mess it up. So another throttle adjustment screw here. You know what? Might as well use it. Let's do it. It's new stuff. Oh no. First rule working with carburetors is don't do that. Okay, now just screw in our new one. This is your throttle. It pulls up on it. It opens up that butterfly in there. This will hold it at a certain position to keep that throttle open enough. Keep that bike running. All that's left is the gasket. So all this stuff in here, we're gonna clean all this out with the brake cleaner / carb cleaner. Breaking into the top of the carburetor now. Again, with these bolts up top, you don't want to strip them. You're gonna have a bad day, so do whatever you can to make sure those bolts come out nice and clean. Okay, then you get the bolts off. Now be careful when you're taking this off. The lid, bam. You get this spring here, okay? Now, this is your diaphragm. You don't want to get any parts cleaner on this. This, your whole slide assembly. That's the top of that looks like. Go ahead and clean this out. Alright, once that's off, go ahead and pop this upside down. Your slide should come out. I believe this was like this. Looks like there's only one position for the clip to go. So it doesn't give you any options of more or less fuel to the carb. I think that this was, when it came out, it was done improperly, because this is how it was when I pulled it out. This was on top of the clip, and the spacer was underneath. But really, it should go something like this. So that's what I did with this new one. Let's see, once I put it back in, if that's how it goes. So go ahead and drop that back down in here. There she goes, just like that. We can put this back into carburetor. Once that's seated properly, go ahead and put your spring back in here. Go ahead and close it up. Same screws. All that's left to do is to throw it on the bike now. Fill it full of fuel. Connect it to the throttle cable and see if we can get this thing to work. So stay tuned. I'm gonna get this thing on the bike and we'll see if she turns on. Alright you guys, so we got the carburetor reinstalled. We left part of the boot off there just so we can See if it'll fire up just with it on like that. Got some water in here, so we're gonna have to get that out. That shouldn't be happening. We've got a full battery. It says it's fully charged. So maybe the starter solenoid, no, that's working. The starter's bad. The starter's gone bad. It's day 2 working on the DR200 last night. I got the plastics on and we got it running. I did end up taking it out last night and getting stranded because I ran out of gas. That was not cool. I will link that video right there. Yeah, right there. So if you want to see that video, check that out. We're gonna go up to the store and see how this thing runs. And so yeah, last night when I broke into this thing, the speedometer wasn't working, but I went ahead and fixed the speedometer. Gotta be careful turning because this back tire is pretty much gone. Okie dokie everybody, with that I think we're going to conclude today's video. I hope it helped you. If it did, be sure to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. As always you guys, keep dangling, never stop.